advertising signs. And we're just flying around like they were toys. I mean, it was brutal.
More than 70 intersections in St. John's lost traffic lights, and gusts that whipped up to 180 kilometers per hour knocked out power to more than 60,000 customers. Crews worked around the clock in terrible conditions, but still about 5,000 customers are without power in eastern Newfoundland today. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The federal government says a security vulnerability in some software was behind the decision to take several websites offline during the weekend. They included the Canada Revenue Agency's income tax filing system. An official with the Treasury Board says it was a precautionary move and there is no evidence of a data breach. There are more calls for Senator Don Meredith to resign his seat because of a sexual relationship he had with a teenager. In a report released last week, the Senate Ethics Officer accused Meredith of violating the Chamber's Code of Ethics in his relationship with a vulnerable young woman. Katie Simpson has the latest details.
CBC News has just obtained this letter that was sent to all members of the Senate by Senator Andre Pratt, and it is begging Don Meredith to resign and do it quickly for the sake of not just himself, but for the sake of the reputation of the Senate itself. We have part of the letter where Senator Andre Pratt is calling on Don Meredith to resign, saying that although you have since taken remedial steps, you have not issued an apology to your victim, to the Senate, or to Canadians, which you should have done long ago. This, of course, comes after that damning report that was done by the Senate Ethics Watchdog that found that Don Meredith violated the Senate's Code of Ethics over that relationship he had with a young woman that started when she was 16 years old. The letter is quite damning itself, but it goes on to say that even if Don Meredith apologizes and admits to his mistakes, that will still not render you fit to serve as a member of the Senate of Canada. In my mind, you have lost that ability forever. What happens next is the Senate Ethics Committee has to meet to look at this report. There had been calls on Friday for the Senate to try and expel Don Meredith, but whether they can actually do that, whether they have the legal authority to do that, that's unclear. They can suspend him, but whether they can kick him out for good, that's unclear.
The CBC's Katie Simpson in Ottawa. Today is the deadline set by the U.S. House Intelligence Committee for the Trump administration to provide any evidence that Barack Obama ordered a wiretap on Trump Tower. Donald Trump made the allegation in a tweet. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer was asked whether that evidence is forthcoming.
The request that was made from the House was to the Department of Justice. From a White House perspective, there's no question there have been an abundance of reports regarding surveillance and other type of activities that occurred during the 2016 election. The House and Senate Intelligence Committees have the means, the process, and the access to go in and look at the entirety of the evidence that's being presented to them and make a determination that they can report back to us.
Barack Obama has flatly denied there was any wiretap, so has his then Director of National Intelligence. Donald Trump is painting his plan for replacing Obama's Affordable Care Act in glowing colors.
We're not going to have